My mother says that violence never settles anything."
"So?" Mr. Dubois looked at her bleakly.
"I'm sure the city fathers of Carthage would be glad to know that. Why doesn't your mother tell them so? Or why don't you?" They had tangled before. Since you couldn't flunk the course, it wasn't necessary to keep Mr. Dubois buttered up. She said shrilly, "You're making fun of me. Everybody knows that Carthage was destroyed."
"You seemed to be unaware of it," he said grimly.
"Since you do know it, wouldn't you say that violence had settled their destinies rather thoroughly? However, I was not making fun of you personally. I was heaping scorn on an inexcusably silly idea, a practice I shall always follow. Anyone who clings to the historically untrue and thoroughly immoral doctrine that violence never settles anything, I would advise to conjure up the ghosts of Napoleon Bonaparte and of the Duke of Wellington and let them debate it. The ghost of Hitler could referee, and the jury might well be the dodo, the great auk, and the passenger pigeon. Violence, naked force, has settled more issues in history than has any other factor, and the contrary opinion is wishful thinking at its worst. Breeds that forget this basic truth have always paid for it with their lives and freedoms." He sighed. "Another year, another class, and for me another failure. One can lead a child to knowledge, but one cannot make him think." Suddenly he pointed his stump at me. "You. What is the moral difference, if any, between the soldier and the civilian?" "The difference," I answered carefully, "lies in the field of civic virtue. A soldier accepts personal responsibility for the safety of the body politic of which he is a member, defending it if need be with his life. The civilian does not." "The exact words of the book," he said scornfully. "But do you understand it? Do you believe it?" I don't know, sir." "Of course you don't. I doubt if any of you here would recognize civic virtue if it came up and barked in your face." He glanced at his watch. "And that is all, a final all. Perhaps we shall meet again under happier circumstances. Dismissed." Graduation right after that, and 3 days later my birthday, followed in less than a week by Carl's birthday, and I still hadn't told Carl that I wasn't joining up. I'm sure he assumed that I would not, but we didn't discuss it out loud. Embarrassing. I simply arranged to meet him the day after his birthday, and we went down to the recruiting office together. On the steps of the federal building, we ran into Carmencita Ibanez, a classmate of ours, and one of the nice things about being a member of a race with two sexes. Carmen wasn't my girl. She wasn't anybody's girl. She never made 2 dates in a row with the same boy and treated all of us with equal sweetness, and rather impersonally. But I knew her pretty well, as she often came over and used our swimming pool because it was Olympic length. Sometimes with one boy, sometimes with another. Or alone, as Mother urged her to. Mother considered her a good influence. For once, she was right. She saw us and waited, dimpling. "Hi, fellas." "Hello, Ochichornaya," I answered. "What brings you here?" "Can't you guess? Today is my birthday." "Huh? Well, happy returns. So I'm joining up.